Circle's billion-dollar IPO, India's crypto regulation draft, and Bitcoin's steady climb. Here's your weekly crypto news. Welcome to your weekly crypto update. Welcome back to another week. This is D Weekly, where you get your crypto with D Weekly. Let's delve into some major developments shaping the digital asset landscape from May 30th to June 5th. Some regulatory highlights this week. Circle's successful $1.05 billion IPO underscores growing institutional interest in crypto infrastructure. Let's dig into it. So, Circle Internet on Wednesday priced its upsized U.S. initial public offering at $31 a piece. They raised $1.05 billion, adding fresh momentum to a growing pipeline of late stage cryptocurrency firms eyeing public markets. Circle and its shareholders sold 34 million shares at $31 a piece. So, yay for stable coins. Yay for that. In other news, the SEC's appointment of Jamie Selway may signal forthcoming regulatory shifts favoring crypto markets. Ooh. Again, this is regulatory news. If you don't like regulatory news, then it is what it is. But it is what it is. It's going to happen. Jamie Selway, a longtime market structure and investment technology expert with ties to the crypto sector, has been tapped to run the trading markets division at the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, according to two people with knowledge of that matter. Who are those people? The internet can't know. Those are just two people. It's my grandma and my uncle. No, I'm kidding. I have no idea. And lastly, to round out a bit of regulatory highlights, India's anticipated crypto regulation paper could redefine digital asset policies in one of the world's largest markets. So India, just like China, is one of those very fickle governments where they're like, Bitcoin is banned, Bitcoin is not banned, Bitcoin is banned, Bitcoin is not banned every single year. That was an accident. If it sounded like an accident, I apologize, but it wasn't. I was just, India's poised to release this comprehensive discussion paper on cryptocurrency regulation later in June. This development will mark a significant shift in the government's approach. It's been characterized by periods of heavy taxation and regulatory silence. This paper is expected to draw from frameworks provided by the international bodies such as the IMF and the FSB, which is the Financial Stability Board. Yeah, so crypto enthusiast. I'm a crypto enthusiast just like you. All this regulatory news gets old. We know what it means. It just is this never ending, hey, people are thinking about doing things. But it does help just to keep your pulse on what's going on in all the regulatory whirlwind. Let's get on to some global developments. What's going on in the world? Well, we're seeing emerging markets are increasingly viewing crypto reserves as a strategic final asset. So it looks, my oh my, like that game theory y'all studied back in 2012 to 2015 about Bitcoin and crypto is coming true. It's almost as if people are like, wait a second, Bitcoin's going to run out. We're going to get our hands on some Bitcoin. So after a brief few hours of so basically what's happening around the world is these emerging markets are basically saying like, hey, we need some crypto in these treasuries, bruh. Like everybody else is having crypto in their treasuries. We need a little treasury action. Well, that is happening. And IG is the first UK listed firm to offer retail trading of crypto. So, this online trading group will help the sector shed its Wild West image as a customer demand reaches tipping point. The cryptocurrency market has moved closer to shedding its Wild West image in Great Britain. So, IG Group is a very massive banking group in the UK, and they're going to offer their customers the opportunity to get in on buying cryptocurrency, right? And no real technological advancements this week. I don't think that are too different than the last. Interoperability from Chainlink. Chainlink is cooking with fish grease right now, and ZK Sync's Providium that's about to go live. So same news there, nothing too different. There's one last bit of technical advancement news that, should be discussed on one of the chains that, doesn't get too much love on this channel, but is a thing. So ACPs and streaming asynchronous execution Avalanche is going to even further help with their throughput. Yeah, Avalanche is about to get a high injection of being able to do more transactions per second. So good on Avalanche. Avalanche is a pretty good, chain. It's like a three-headed dragon of blockchains. There's the X chain, the C chain, and the P chain. But you guys can all go look at Avalanche in your own time. Just know that it's making moves. Let's talk a little bit about some market movements. So Bitcoin had some Bitcoin's having a rough week. In fact, all these cryptos are having a rough week. We all know why too, because Elon and let's just say that there has been some global beef that's causing a little bit of unsure moments in a lot of markets. Well, it affected Bitcoin and it affected Ethereum. Bitcoin is trying to stabilize right at around 100,000. Ethereum shows a little bit of resilience, but it's dropped down to 2,500. And so it's been a tough week in the markets. So. And new data is showing that family offices, private equity are increasingly incorporating crypto assets into their portfolios, right? So this is a great thing. Like we're reaching adoption really fast. I think some people, Bitcoin maxis will call it hyper Bitcoinization. That's a thing. That's a term that was thrown around. But what we're going to see is, and this is, me putting on a fortune teller hat, if you will, is that as the Bitcoin starts to dry up, there's only so much left in about 2028. Like that supply is going to get pretty small, not circulating supply, but the new supply that's introduced. So people are going to need to have their hands on Bitcoin. And some other adoption news. Huma, that's HUMA, has joined the global dollar network to advance stablecoin adoption on Solana. Solana is growing and maturing as a major. It is here. It is not going anywhere. Huma's officially joined the GDN, the global dollar network. It's a coalition of leading enterprises committed to accelerating the adoption of stablecoins through aligned incentives, regulatory clarity, and global utility. It was launched by Paxos, powered by the global dollar, USDG. But all in all, it's just a play to add more stable coins to the Solana blockchain. Looking ahead, let's try and keep our pulse on this news coming out of India. No big deal. I don't think it's anything to, shake a stick at. And let's take a look at the SEC for some potential market impacts, right? The SEC has been quite involved in the last few years in crypto, and it looks like they're turning to the good corner. Since we've talked about it so much over the past 4 weeks, we really need to try and keep an eye on Chainlink, right? Chainlink is trying to be this interoperability layer for all of crypto, but let's be frank, there have been some hiccups with Chainlink's oracles that caused some price things, that caused some bad news for people. So I'm just saying, let's keep an eye on it. And that's a wrap for this week's crypto highlights. Again, regulations are dropping, code is being shipped, and crypto continues to grow more and more and more towards massive adoption. Stay informed. These are headlines that I kind of handpicked that I think are kind of neat. There's a lot happening in crypto every single day, every single week. If you want me to talk about more different things, please chime in, leave comments, leave us some feedback, and I will do my best to get even more diverse set of news for you guys. I do enjoy reading these headlines. Sometimes these things come to fruition, sometimes they don't, but at least you kind of know, just get a little bit of a pulse of what's going on in crypto. Thank you all for listening to another week of D Weekly, where you get your crypto with D Weekly. Subscribe. Play that outro.